Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters. Today I am filming the perfect palette tag. I am actually going to film both of them. I was tagged by Kat from Kitsch Snitch, thank you darling, to do the perfect palette 2 tag, but since I hadn't done the first one I thought, you know what, let's just do them both. So today I am filming the first one, which you will see first, and I will also film the second one, which you will see later. Alright. Oh, phone. Oh, really? Okay, let's just get on with it. So, question number 1 is best packaging, and I've chosen the Stila Eyes of the Window to the Soul palette. I like this packaging because it kind of features a lot of things that I look for in packaging, like ultimate goals. So it's got a magnetic closure, it's very sturdy, it's pretty, it's got rose gold on the back, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell. I'm trying not to blind you, it's extremely shiny, and then it's gold on the front. It collects a lot of fingerprints, but that's alright. Another thing I love about this palette is the fact that the mirror angles and stays where you put it. So if you want to use it for makeup application, you can. Also, the mirror is really large, so you can do a full face of makeup without having to sort of point it at certain areas of your face. So if you're doing the eyes, you can do the eyes and the lips and the cheeks and the contouring and all of the things without having to move the mirror around your face. Question number 2 is best color payoff, and I'm gonna go with anything Bare Minerals. I just freaking love the pigmentation, the blendability, everything about the Bare Minerals shadows makes me happy. I honestly think these are probably one of the best eyeshadows on the market. So anything that they do that's pressed, I love. Not a huge fan of their loose stuff, but that's just personal preference. Yeah, definitely anything Bare Minerals. This is the sort of stuff that I buy without thinking about it. Like, I don't need to sort of consider my purchases when I'm buying a Bare Minerals palette. I just freaking love them. The next question is most versatile, and I had so much trouble with this because for me a versatile palette is something that can do a whole face, and it can do like day looks, night looks, work looks, nana looks, party makeup, bright, like no makeup, stuff like that. And I just like I don't have anything like that in my collection. There were a few palettes that I could sort of be like, you know, this is kind of versatile, but I felt like I was sort of lying to myself because it was only versatile for certain things, not everything. If I'm going to be perfectly honest about what I think is the most versatile palette or palettes in my collection, it's these Inglot, like they're, what are they called? Freedom System palettes. So these come in all different sizes. You can get, I think you can go as low as a duo, and then you can go up to like, I think a 40 pan or something ridiculous. These are only the little 10 pans, and I love these because Inglot has this huge variety of eyeshadows, and they're not just, you know, they're not just for the eyes. They can be used all over the face. You can use them as blushes, highlights, eyeshadows, face setting powders, whatever you need. So I personally think that if you're trying to find a palette that does everything, a whole face, and that's safe to travel with, I would just go and make up one of these Inglot palettes. They're not that expensive. I mean, each pan is about $10, but they are quite densely packed, very pigmented. and they last a long time. So yeah, these are going to be like my sort of most versatile options. If I wanted to, I could depot some of the colors in these and make like the ultimate going away palette, and it would do everything. It would cover my whole face, but I choose to keep them in like sort of nudes and brights. Yeah, so that would be my selection for most versatile. Alright, next question is best for traveling, and I know I already showed this, but I'm showing it again. It is the Bare Minerals Regal Wardrobe. This was Christmas 2000 and oh, I just shoved my fucking thumbnail in it. It was Christmas 2015. I just feel like this is one of the more perfect palettes in my collection. So you've got blushes, bronzer, highlight, and then 8 eyeshadows. The eyeshadows are more on the neutral side, but to be perfectly honest, that's kind of what I go for on an everyday basis. I love to pull out the colour when I'm feeling a bit sassy or when I'm filming, but usually I just like to go with more neutral tones. So yeah, if I was going travelling, this is probably the only palette I would take, and I have actually taken this travelling before. I love that there's sort of everything in there to do a full face. I did consider choosing this for the most versatile, but since there's no like bright pops of colour in there, I felt a little restricted. I also love the way this folds up. So the mirror folds down over the shadows to protect them. The base coloured products fold up, and then you've got this super sturdy, really good magnetic closure. It is hard cardboard, but it's sturdy. I know that this could go in my luggage, probably pressed between some pajamas or something, and it would be absolutely fine. I really love this, and I'm sorry that it's discontinued or it was limited edition, but trying to put it out there that maybe you should keep an eye out for some Bare Minerals palettes, because they're probably the best on the market. Alright, next question is biggest regret, and this was the easiest question for me to answer out of both the tags. It's this thing. This is the NARS Stephen Klein Dead of Summer Dual Intensity Eyeshadow Palette. I swatched this in Mecca when it came out, and I was buying a bunch of other things from the new releases in this range, and I just I fell in love with this. The way it swatches is so beautiful. These colors are stun, just stun. So I bought it, and it wasn't cheap. I think it was up there in the $90 mark. And when I got it home and I tried it, these translated on the eyes like a cheap, crappy drugstore shadow. I was so shocked, and you know what? I am dead set pissed off at myself that I didn't return this, because it's fucking rubbish. Even when you use them wet, since they're dual intensity, you can use them wet and dry. Even when you use them wet, they're just so pathetic. It's like, it's embarrassing. If I released this, I would be embarrassed. Okay, the next question is best color names. Now, I don't think anyone else is going to think that these are the best color names for eyeshadows, but this is more of a personal thing for me. This is the Sugar Pill Edward Scissorhands palette, and I'm going to say that these shades, they're not easy to wear. Honestly, they are like, they take work to make them work. I bought this palette because I am a major Edward Scissorhands fan. It has huge nostalgic value for me, and I had to have it. So when I got it, And I'd seen a lot of pictures of it, but when I got it and I opened it, I was just like, this is so, so perfect. So we've got Home Sweet Home and Suburbia here. Now, if you've watched Edward Scissorhands, you would know that when they do a bird's eye view of the suburbs that the lady lives in, these are the colours of the houses. These are the most prominent colours in that shot. And they are so spot on that it kind of freaked me out when I saw it. It just done so well. Up here we've got Ice Angel. Now you know Edward Scissorhands sculpted out of ice. He sculpted an angel out of ice. We've got Heart-Shaped Cookie, which is a colour of the cookies that were being made in the cookie factory in the castle that his maker lived on. Then we've got the Inventor, and this is actually the colour of his suit that he wears, the Inventor's suit. And here we have Castle on the Hill, which is the colour of the exterior of the castle and a lot of the interior of the castle as well. Now the reason that I love these so much is not because the names are clever or anything like that. It's just that they are so perfect for the colours. It all makes sense. I feel like the team at Sugar Pill, when they were making this palette, they were like, we need to get this shit right. People are passionate about their past, and anyone growing up who watched Edward Scissorhands, major fans, they love it. You have to get this shit right, otherwise people are going to destroy you. And they did. They just got it so, so right. And I love this palette so much. I love it. I never wear it because it's so fucking hard to wear, but I swear to God, I will never, ever get rid of this palette. Ever. Okay, so the next question is least used. Now, I don't have just one least used palette. All of my palettes, every single palette that I own, bar maybe 2 or 3, are used very, very little. And essentially what happens is I buy palettes, I use them, I review them, or I use them to try them out but not to review, and then they go into my collection and I pick up another new palette that I either want to review or try out. And it's a vicious cycle because I'm constantly buying new ones. I just can't control myself when a new palette comes out. And yeah, it's left me with a lot of palettes that are extremely lightly used. And I kind of don't care. It's alright. I'm okay with it. Palettes are my weakness. It is what it is. Okay, the next question is most used, and this is... It's not a typical palette, it's my Z palette, and this is just the way that things have been working for me in the last couple of years. I've been trying to use shadows that I enjoy, and I tend to put them all in a Z palette and then try to pan them. So if I'm dead honest about what my most used palette is, it's this. It's everything in my Z palette. And I know it's not a traditional palette, but that's just the way it is. Okay, the next question is most loved. And this one's fairly easy for me. I'm going to pull out one of my Bare Minerals palettes. You probably know by now I love Bare Minerals palettes. This is probably, aside from the Regal Wardrobe, which I've already shown, this is probably my next favourite Bare Minerals palette. These eyeshadows up here are just stunning, especially this sort of goldy, like old gold, and then these two, we've got a copper and like a, it's kind of like a duochrome silver. It's, yeah, it's very interesting. Love it, just love it. I do not have a single bad thing to say about this palette, except maybe it's a little bulky and it doesn't need to be, but that's because they included a ridiculous brush in there. Yeah, absolutely love this palette. I'm sorry it was limited edition and you can't get it anymore, but like I said, you should keep an eye out for new Bare Minerals palettes and start buying them because they're great. Also, I most love Edward Scissorhands. Although the shades aren't, I don't find them particularly wearable. I love it. I just fucking love it. It makes me feel like a little kid again, and I love that. I think it can be really hard to sort of tap into your inner child, and this helps me do that. So, okay, final question, Desert Island. And again, I know, I'm sorry, but it just has to be said because they are my favorite palettes. Bare Minerals. I would probably go the Regal Wardrobe. Just like I would take this traveling, this is probably what I would take to a desert island. But then again, if I was stuck on a desert island, I probably wouldn't really give a fuck about this, and I'd be wanting like moisturizer, cleanser and sunscreen. But if I could have one eyeshadow palette, it would be this one, the Regal Wardrobe, because it's perfect like that. I love it. Alright guys, so that's it for the Perfect Palette tag. There will be a Perfect Palette 2 tag coming up very soon. If you have anything to say about the palettes that you saw in this video, let me know down in the comments. And until next time, thanks for watching guys. Bye!